Pull in 3, 2, 1. Pull the late people. The VH. The VH.
Stripping. Dude, I'm getting CC'd by an NPC.
Move. Return with Wellsbomb. 3, 2, 1. Wellsbomb on the right. Wellsbomb. Go for the
Wells on us. Wells here.
Perfect. Click. Dodge on the left in 3, 2.
Pull.
Go for the left. Go into them. Nightfall Breaching Trap in 3, 2, 1.
Breach. Nightfall.
Don't let me alone. I'm alone. Perfect. Click.
Go forward. Heal tag. A lot of young shit might be okay.
One turn is a veil, spiking front. More spike. Perfect. Go to right. Wellsbomb on the left in 3, 2, 1. Wellsbomb into them. Go for the wells. Into the wells. Perfect. Nightfall Breaching Trap. Nightfall.
This is way better.
Clear them all. Go for Trust.
This is a way better fight, dude.
Army. Damage.
Breach here.
Go on the left.
One down on right side.
More control. Stay army. Do not.
They transfuse.
Kill them all. Finish.
Yeah, this is way better.
It's done, guys.
Way better, dude.
Wellsbomb on them. Trust me. Wellsbomb into them. Perfect. Cleave on the feet. Lot of damage. They are just invisible. Trust me. Click.
They are just invisible.
Nightfall on the transfer on my marker. Come to me. Nightfall now. Use it. That's so bad. Click.
That's so bad.
Now.
Fucking Planet Desange.
They use stab now.
Is he on drugs? No, he's just French.
3, 2, 1. Dodge right. Trust me.
I'm not dodging. Dodging's fucking DPS loss.
Dodge on the left in 3, 2, 1. Dodge on the left. Trust me. Come to me. We push in 3, 2, 1. Push into them with the wells on the right. Wellsbomb. Use it. Perfect. Pull. On the knees. More pull. Go for the transfer inside them. Inside. Don't.
Inside the place.
On me. The don is on me. Perfect. Go to left. Perfect. Nightfall Breach and Trap. On me. More pull. More control. More strip. Perfect. Cleave the donis. Inside them. Don't go behind. Inside them.
No. Transfusion here. Transfusion in the back.
Go to right.
You're up, Ali. Okay, welcome back once again for the Renegade Master. No, we're not playing Renegade, guys. It's Scourge. Scourge can play an important role in Wild vs. Wild. Before the patch, after the patch, during the patch. In large-scale fights, you're still breaking up the ball. You've still got the boon corruption removal. You've still got the single target with the scepter focus. Supporting allies as well. Through more Condi cover in the Condi meta. With barrier, some might, some cleanse. If you've never played Scourge before, it's a specialization of Necro. You don't get an extra health pool bar thing. Or shroud or something. That like replaces your weapon skills. You just have access to shades. We're playing like a rangy class, but you can use skills on yourself as well. For like defensive bombs, but you can also do ranged bombs. It's pretty nice. What is the build we're playing? Alright, let's go through the build. Let's start this off. So we're playing Selly, we're playing Tempest. Everyone's going to be playing Tempest runes because it has the all stats combo and the plus condition duration. We've got the condition damage infusions on everything. Pumping out the Condi damage, as you can see from the stats here. Food-wise, we're running Selly food, incoming damage, minus incoming damage. And we're running 200 condition damage. Utility when you're above 90% HP. We're playing Selly weapons. Torment Sigil, it's permanently critting, bro. And it's AoE. And it's just more Condi cover. And you're just pumping out a lot of Torment on this build anyway as well. I've gone in-cap. I've gone for in-cap on Scepter. Which is a 5-second cooldown on one person. Might not be huge value. Definitely could play other sigils. But I chose to go with this one. We've got Scepter auto-attacking single targets. And you can do a lot of Condis with just auto-attacking. I'm just going to show you quickly here. With just one auto-attack, this is what we're doing. Check out this. Looks pretty good. Go from the side or from the flank. We get a bit of cripple. We get a bit of vuln. So this is just auto-attacking. That is a lot of Condis. But yeah, definitely you could run a different sigil. I think the build is flexible with what you play. Maybe you could run Geomancy. Maybe you could run Hydro on this as well. The reason why it's doing more Condis on auto than normal is because of the Relic of Sorcerer. So when you cripple, chill, or immob, you're inflicting vuln. And that vuln, because of the Condi duration, it's lasting 10.5 seconds. But yeah, Torment is proccing, vuln's proccing. The bleed is proccing. The poison is proccing on the third Scepter auto. The cripple's proccing on the sigil. and we're just auto-attacking. It's doing pretty good damage. So this is your filler skill. You're going to be using this in between other skills. Your priority skills will always be Scepter 3, Scepter 2, Focus 5. Priority skills, Greatsword will be Nightfall, Pull. This is pretty good. This is 12 Vuln if you can get it off. 240 radius. And Gravedigger's pretty good as well. Gravedigger can reset itself if they're below 50% HP. If they're not, you can auto-attack, and the third hit of your Greatsword will reduce the cooldown of Gravedigger. So there you go. Your last hit of Greatsword auto is Chill. So you'll be able to put Von on enemy with the Sorcerer Relic. As you can see here, we're keeping that up. 3 stacks, 4 stacks. Boom, boom, boom. We're running, obviously, Selly accessories. Everything's Selly, dude. Like, what else are you going to do? It's a hybrid meta. Traits. We're running Curses, Blood Magic, and Scourge. You could play Chilling Blind. You could play that because you're playing Greatsword. It's actually okay, but I prefer the Plague Sending. I think if you're against Condi, it's better to have this so you can transfer Condis. But then again, it's only when you go Sandstorm Shroud, so 35-second cooldown, whereas this one's only a 3-second cooldown. We're playing Curses mainly for the Scepter trait and the cooldown reduction on CPC. It's very, very strong. We got Bleed on crit. Does proc quite a lot, to be honest. Does proc a lot. We got extra crit chance. Gain Condi damage based on precision. Fury on Shroud. Extra precision. It's a very good trait line. Blood Magic, Transfusion. We're not dropping that. We're running Vampiric Presence. And still playing Well of Blood. Blood Magic is still too good. We're popping off with it. You can even abuse Transfusion. And then get in a Golem. And then res downstays in a Golem. If you're that dedicated, who would do that? I mean, I'll port the comm over here, but... Dude, there's no way. There's no fucking way, dude. Oh my god, did you just see that? You wouldn't do that, would you? That's cheese, guys. That's cheese. Anyway, and Scourge, we're playing still the Might Barrier trait, Abrasive Grit. We're still running Sandstorm, Shroud, extra Boon Conversion, Torment and Barrier, and finally Demonic Law for the Torment Burning synergy. We have a lot of Torment on this build, Sigil and utility skills and weapon skills, so there we go. So ideally you want to put down a Shade because you get a trait. When you have an active Shade, you get expertise and concentration, so you should definitely put a Shade down before using weapon skills. And you've got a few other options here. You can convert Condis into boons. You can give Barrier. This Garish Pillar is for your res. With Scourge, it's 200% increased recharge, so it goes to a 60-second cooldown. And then you've got the Sandstorm Shroud. So I'll show you how this works. So you put down a Shade, and then if I press F2, you see it's doing the animation over here and here, which means you'll be able to hit twice. But you can't hit the same target twice, but you can hit twice if you're hitting different targets. So even though it's like a target of 2, you'll hit 2 there and 2 here. Okay? So, in melee range, you could use Shade, press F2, F3. Then you press Scepter 3, Scepter 2, Focus 5. Then you can just auto-attack or press 4 if you need some extra life force. And look at those Condis, bro. 900 range, Scepter 3, so it's very, very good. Each Shade has a purpose, and it's important to use it wisely and at the appropriate time, while also managing your life force. So this bar, like I said before, is not a health bar. It's not a shroud form which replaces your weapon skills. It is a life force bar. And these shades, not the manifest sand shade, but these shades, F2, F3, F4, they cost a life force. So you want to be careful. Okay, you want to be careful. But you get some decent life force from this build. So it isn't a massive issue. You get life force from Scepter 3, life force from Focus 4. And you can get life force from Greatsword 3. Do you have life force on auto attack on Greatsword? Obviously, you get life force on kill. If you want to get life force before a fight, you can do that quite simply. What you do is you pop a minion, and then you switch it out for your heal skill, and your life force will go up because you're sacrificing something, which means it's basically you're getting life force from it. So there you go. So you can do that. But your skills will go on cooldown, so just be careful. You may not want to swap out your stun break before the fight for a minion for life force. You know, you should be okay in the fight, to be honest. But the heal skill, you might, it's a 30-second cooldown. The corrosive cloud is 20 seconds, so probably swap those two out for a minion if you're going to do any of them. And then you can swap it back in. What else? Most organized squads are like coordinating wells and bombs. So yeah, and breach and nightfall. So you basically want to listen out for these calls in voice. You want to get on voice as a necro ideally, because you're going to be calling when you're bombing, when your wells are ready, if you're calling skills so the commander knows that you've used them, and obviously when you call when you're rezzing, your transfusion, which is your F4. So I'll explain how transfusion works later. We'll do that in a bit. So breach and wells, if you call that, if you hear that in voice and you call it in voice and stuff, that's your elite skill, your breach. So you just want to place it, and it basically you want to go into the enemy or close to the enemy. You want to kind of predict the enemy's movements. If you target the enemy leader, you'll know exactly where they're going. Little fun fact. So you'll see them moving on the right, or you'll see the leader moving on the right. He might be baiting you, bro, and you might press breach here, and then you might run away, and you might completely miss your breach. Well, that's just unlucky. If your commander calls breach and wells, and the enemy's running away, you probably shouldn't use it. You should probably say, Commander, it's too far. They're running away. And he will say, hopefully he will say, yeah, you're right. That's a bad call. You kind of gotta use some brain power a little bit sometimes. But yeah, wells are 900 range, so you can use them from range. There we go. How do you well bomb? Like, what is the rotation of wells? I mean, you shade, right? F1, F5. You drop a well. You could place CPC first before the Shroud to transfer the self-condies that you get from this. You get self-weakness and self-cripple. CPC, and then transfer the condies like that because of the trait. And then use your Well of Corruption. Do you want to use your last Manifest Sound Shade? I mean, not really. You want to keep maybe one all the time, but it isn't a massive issue if you do like use it. Nightfall and Breach may be used together if you're getting value from it, but you could separate that. You could Nightfall separately, but really you kind of want to overlap it because it just look at it. It's just disgusting. Look at that. Just put it together and it just makes a huge bomb. It's very nice. Very, very good. Poison on downs is very good. CPC is very good. The reason we take this is for the poison, the weakness, and it blocks missiles, which is basically projectile hate. It's very strong. There's a lot of pew-pew. But yeah, predicting enemy movement, the positioning your abilities accordingly is very important for your effectiveness of this build. Some of the things are stationary, right? So you've got to place it on the right location. You want to hit maximum targets with these skills that hit 5. Putting them on the downs can be really, really good. If they don't transfuse the enemy, then you might get lucky and create a lot of shit on them and they can't hand res. But if they have transfusion and then you go to push the transfusion and then breach on that, it can be really, really strong. Some necros don't even use transfusions. Like, some people aren't even using it. Like, it's crazy to me that people don't use this. It's still so strong. Even without fully investing into healing power and outgoing healing power and stacking, like even without Mercy Relic, you're still getting huge value from transfusion. So let's talk about transfusion. The trait allows you to port and partially revive nearby allies. Up to 5 nearby downed allies are teleported to you when you use F4, and it's 600 range. So you got to get a feeling for how close 600 is. You press literally F4. I did a video for heal support Scourge. So if you want to go and listen to that video, go watch that video for more information. I don't really want to go too much into detail about transfusion, but yeah. And you're hand rezzing and blah, blah, blah. You're proccing some well when you're rezzing, and there you go. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, yeah. Pulling. When to pull. Okay, your pull is really strong. When the enemy's not pushing, you should pull. On like before wells, you can use it to split the enemy up. Like, you're stripping and then you're pushing and then you're pulling and you're disrupting them. So when you well bomb, you remove the target cap because obviously you want to hit 5 players and you all want to hit the same 5 players to make sure you do damage and kill them, right? So it's all about snowballing as well. So chill is insane. 7 seconds and people can't go and support because, well, they're getting pushed and well bombed. So pulling before wells can be good. Pulling enemy into wells is good. Pulling enemy after nightfall and breach is good. Pulling enemy when they're not pushing is good. Coordinate with strips is very, very good. There's a lot of strips now in the meta. It's pull and bomb meta. It's pull and strip meta. So you're going to get big value from grasping darkness. And if you're playing this in WoW vs. World, you can actually pull people outside of towers with this skill. because of Abrasive Grit, when you grant barrier, you're removing conditions and giving allies might. How do you give barrier, boys? F5, F3, heal skill. There we go. In other videos, I've talked about what you can do with the barrier and how useful it can be, such as for illusion of life moments. But if you want to know more about that, go check out the other heal support Scourge video. I won't talk about it again in this video. Barrier is good because, well, you don't have to react to someone taking damage. You can give it before the push, and it means that people can soak some damage up if they get CC'd and ripped or stripped or whatever, and they fail to dodge. You can basically cover some mistakes, or you can help people survive, and just make it even tankier. And enemies hitting into yellow numbers on their screen is frustrating. It isn't going to be crazy barrier on this build, but it still helps. But yeah, you can use it for Condi cleanse, additional Condi cleanse if you need to. So you can use it after you get Condis or before pushes. But if you need the extra Condi cleanse, you can do it. But really, you should be good. Your party should be gaming with Condi cleanse, even in this meta. If you've got a Scrapper or a Heal Vindy, but if you've got a Heal Vindy, you might need to pay attention to Condis a little bit. Right, main priorities on this class, boys, is what? Staying alive. It's the good old staying alive. You've got to dodge, boys. If you need more dodges, you can go and get Energy Sigil and slap it on instead of the In-Cap Sigil and instead of the Hydro Sigil. The reason I put Hydro on again is just another chill. When you're swapping into Greatsword, another chill, and it's another source of Vuln because of the Relic. So when you're swapping into Nightfall, you're just doing Chill, Blind, Cripple, Vuln, and then you're pressing this slow burning Torment. It's crazy. And then you're getting Torment from the Sigil as well. So it's a huge bomb. But yeah, if you need energy sigils, go and grab them if you need them. But yeah, you want to really single target people if you can during downtime of your main important skills that I went through already. And filler skill, auto-attacking. Just auto-attack this motherfucker. If you see guy, just auto-attacking, dude. And press focus 5. And just press focus 4 if you need to. If that's, you know, if you see some guy out of the stack and he's getting caught, just do that, dude. He's going to overload him with load of Condis. You're going to have to force their support to support him back to tag. He's going to be fucked. Chilled, crippled, slowed. He's going to get back to tag with hardly any health. But yeah, you kind of want to use Boon Strip together to try and overload. Like, it's all about spiking, right? Same as power meta. You want to spike the enemy down, power spike them down. You want to Boon Rip spike them down. You kind of want to use skills together and chain key skills together. But you can solo like a few skills as well, because you will use them in conjunction with other players, other Necros. If you're all doing a range spike, you can simply just do a few shades and Scepter 3. That will be enough for a range spike and to put some pressure on the enemy and start forcing them to use their Condi cleanse. Now, the Condis are lasting a long time, guys. Look at this. 36 seconds, 34 seconds. With the shade up, 36 seconds. Cripple, 13 seconds. The bleeding is just lasting forever. The torment is lasting forever. Like, the earlier you pressure the enemy, the better, because those Condis will be ticking on them. And if they don't cleanse them, it's going to hurt later on. It's going to hurt in the middle of the fight if they do cleanse, because they're, like, cleansing at the start, and then they get bombed, and then they have nothing to cleanse. They're going to have to rotate their cleanses very efficiently to deal with this pressure. People are going to be playing Condis, boys. If you haven't seen it already, I don't know what you're doing and where you're playing. But it is here, boys. Condi meta's here. Swapping weapons is a 10-second cooldown. Obviously, you want to do that. But it depends on the situation. This is a ranged weapon set. This is more of a melee weapon set. This is more of a pull into well bomb, stop the push weapon set. Okay, so you want to just think like this. What weapon set should I be in? What's happening in the fight? What am I listening to? What is the commander saying? Okay, there you go. Maximize your skills depending on the situation. Try and judge how the fights are going and adapt. I won't go into much more detail, boys. I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Trail of Anguish. This is your only stun break. You're gonna have to rely heavily on support from your party. So make sure you use this wisely and when you need to if you get stuck. Don't always just use it instantly when you need to break a stun if you get stunned. Wait for your party to support you a little bit. If they don't support you, then obviously you need to use that ASAP and get back to the tag. You don't really want to be off the tag with this class. That's pretty much it, boys. You've got a poison field. If you want to, like, you got some dark fields. If you want to do, like, poison field, Poison bolts. Poison bolts. You can do some combo wombo with the combo fields. But, you know, you might not get opportunity. You can put down a dark field, bro. And do the leeching bolts. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so there's some combo fields. If you want to play with those, you can maybe get some benefit from. You're always going to prioritize. They changed this, by the way. You're always going to prioritize your own field over anybody else's. So if you have a field underneath you and you use a finisher, you will always combo your own field. But you can combo other fields if you see another field. If you see a Vander Holyfield, no one knows who that is. Fucking boomer. Anyway, join the community in playing condition damage. Hybrid metas here. If you don't think so, you're on a GVG, bruv. Come and show me your power comp. If you can beat this. You can't. You're scared. You don't even want a GVG, bro. You're not even in a GVG guild. Who are you? You're just in the comments section on YouTube, you little bitch. But thank you for contributing and commenting. Anyway, if you think there's a better build out there for Scourge or for Necro, give it to me. Send it to me. I'll have a look. What's coming next? People want Selly Reaper. I know people want Selly Spellbreaker.